War-ravaged Avdiivka is an exact copy of the destroyed Bakhmut. There are people under the rout of this house. The reason of this is a Russian missile.
This is one of the streets in Chasiv Yar, and I want to say that it's never quiet here. We have been here for 40 minutes and have already counted 12 powerful Russian shots. Russian troops shelled a humanitarian convoy. We know that volunteers and civilians were killed here.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Olena Hramova is at the forefront of the information front. She is a special correspondent for UATV. Every day, she tells the world the truth about how the Russian military is destroying her native Donetsk region. Olena is from Yanakiyeva, a financier by education. But 3 years ago she realized that her vocation was journalism.
The war started in 2014 for me. Kramatorsk, where I lived and live now, was under Russian occupation for a little over 2 months. But in those 2 months I saw a lot of what happened. Of course, 2014 cannot be compared with 2022. However, then people generally had no idea about aggression, moreover realizing that this was the aggression of their neighbor, so to speak. Yes, the war began in 2014, but then I was not a journalist. I was just an ordinary citizen of Ukraine. Then I became a volunteer, and during this time we experienced a lot.
Despite the great risk to her life, Olena did not leave Kramatorsk and continues to cover the events of the war that Russia unleashed against Ukraine.
We actually work daily near the front line, and in general, being in Kramatorsk, it is quite close to the front, literally 40 kilometers.
Move, move, move! For Olena, military journalism is primarily a test of courage and stamina. After all, work is associated not only with risk, but also with pain. The pain of people who lose loved ones, housing, and are left with almost nothing.
I remember Solidar very strongly. We have been there many times, and also recently, before the temporary occupation by Russia. I remember people. I came there every 2 weeks filming journalist material in the same shelter where people lived. It was the basement of an ordinary apartment building. Remember how they met us. Someone knitted warm socks for me at the next meeting. They were saying, "Oh, Olena came, she brought something tasty for us," because we try to listen to the needs of people as much as possible while doing our job. We help, we bring medicines and volunteers.
It is simply impossible not to talk about the heroism of the Ukrainian military and civilians, and telling the truth about the crimes of Russia is extremely necessary. Olena is sure. On Journalist Day, President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelenskyy presented her with the Order of Princess Olha, 3rd class. However, the main reward for Olena will be the news of Ukraine's victory over the Russian aggressor, when the Ukrainian flag will fly again over her native Yanakiyeva. And a huge support and source of inspiration for Olena is the sincere reaction of our audience. Someone in Hollywood should quickly buy the rights to Supergirl Alena's good looks, bravery, frontline adventures and everything else. Alena is a great reporter, and UATV does an absolutely brilliant job reporting from the front line. Alena is one brave reporter. She has been near the front line since day one.
People watching, people thinking about you, being safe. Oh, Alena, I want to thank you. Thank you very much. It's very important for us, for our job, for all who doing everything for our victory.
Reported by Pavlo Shtelmach, Yulia Granovska, UATV News.
Olena Hramova, stay with UATV.